Accu-Stats Video Productions presents from Chesapeake, Virginia, the 22nd annual U.S. Open 9-Ball Championships. Along with Danny Diliberto, I'm Bill Incardona, and Danny, this tournament started with 180 players. We're now down to just 8. 4 left on the winner side, 4 left on the loser side. The feature match slating Shannon DAULTON against Efren Reyes.
This is really a contrast of styles, I would say, and ages, and of course they're from different parts of the world. Shannon's originally from Kentucky, and of course Efren's from the Philippines. We have an up-and-comer, and was there and is there, Efren Reyes. So this should be very interesting. Shannon is happy to be where he's at, and I think he's going to freewheel here.
Yeah, but he's not content where he's at, you know. Believe me, he's definitely trying to win this U.S. Open. You know, he wants to win it badly, and I tell you what, he's playing well enough to win it.
Yes, he is.
Now, Efren Reyes, well, we all know how well he plays. 3 World 8-Ball titles, many World 9-Ball titles, many major titles.
Straight pool titles.
Yeah,
I have to tell you that one.
Best one-pocket player in the world, world-class 3-cushion player, maybe the best bulk line billiard player in the world. I mean, when does it stop? It goes on and on and on. So therefore, you know, whenever Efren Reyes plays, a lot of people congregate and come to watch him play. Same as now, that everyone's around this table watching the magician, Efren Reyes.
Well, they all want to say they saw the greatest player play, and that's what they're witnessing right now. And this guy, he never has a bad tournament. You know, he's right up to top every tournament he plays in.
And that same question keeps surfacing all the time. Who is the greatest player of all time? And certainly we have to consider Reyes as a candidate for that.
Yeah, I like to wait a little bit longer, because I really believe when you talk the greatest of all time, there has to be the test of time also. Now, he's been here quite a while, but I just want to see how it keeps going. Don't forget, we have some contenders here that, you know, I think have a very good chance to derail him. That one Canadian player, and of course Shannon himself, but we have that Canadian player that is very impressive, John, what is it, Horsfall.
Horsfall.
Yeah, he played perfect against Earl, you know, and Earl's playing very well. But at any rate, back to Efren, we'll just see. I mean, I myself think it's close because he plays all the games. You know, I favor all the game players, and he certainly plays everything.
Well, that's mainly the main reason why you have to consider Efren as maybe possibly the greatest player of all time, because he does play every game at a top level.
Oh, you're absolutely correct.
Notice kicking, no problem.
Oh, he does kick great. There's no flaws. If you're trying to press me with that, I mean, he has no flaws at all. I mean, he seems to have tons of heart too.
Well, his nemesis, if you can consider anyone a nemesis, is playing on the adjacent table. His nemesis of late, I should say, Jose Parica.
Well, you say of late. Parica told me 10 years ago that he plays better than Efren, and back in the Philippines, he beat him almost daily, he claims. You know, it's very possible. He thinks he's a better player than Efren, and at times he is.
Well, I'd say about 3 weeks ago there was a tournament in St. Louis. The race was to 15. Parica met Reyes in a preliminary round, defeating him 15-7. Then he once again met him in the finals. Once again, he defeated him, this time for the score of 15-5. Well, he didn't let that alone. Parica started bragging about it. He says the 2 matches I beat Reyes, he didn't win enough games to win 1 match. Reyes heard about it. He's awfully mad. If these 2 meet up again, I'm really curious, anxious to see what happens.
Yeah, we might need a referee.
In the meantime, Reyes doing what he does best, running out in game number 1.
Yeah, he should have no problems here. But you know, we talked about Efren and Parica. There are half a dozen other ones that are world class that can play from the Philippines. What is it about the Filipino players? How come they all play so well? Well, anyway. Scores 1-0 now, but what I'm leading into, there's a young player in Florida that asked me this question: how come all the Filipinos play so well? And I said they have great eyesight. I don't know if you ever saw Efren. He could read a magazine right up to his eyes and 10 feet away. I mean, they all seem to have great eyes, and none of them wear glasses. So wait a minute, I told this young kid that they eat worms. So the next tournament,
Don't tell me you told someone the reason why they see so well because they eat worms.
Yeah.
You don't have to tell me what he did. I already know.
Yeah. I saw the kid 2 weeks later, and he tried some worms. He did. I said, well, are you playing better? I didn't know. I forgot to tell him I was kidding.
In the meantime, opening up the balls in game number 2, pocketing 2 balls on the break. Reyes has a reasonably good shot on the 1. The 2 positioned near the bottom cushion, on the adjacent end of the table.
Well, the last 10 games of the previous match that I did on this table, they didn't make 2 balls between them in 10 racks on the break. This is a tough table to make balls on, and that's rare. And when it seems like when they make a ball, they're all tied up and they don't have a shot to run out, but not the way it sits here. He has a chance to make a ball and run out. That's rare on this particular table so far.
Look at the way the balls are positioned, very conveniently in front of both side pockets, the 5 and the 6. The 7 ball out the other end of the table.
Yeah.
No problem for a player of the caliber of Reyes, or no problem for any world-class player.
Right. This is one of those racks that we have all these terminologies: connect the dots, a road map, a Cosmo. That's all there is to it.
Shannon DAULTON patiently waiting in his chair for his turn, if he ever gets one.
Well, I'm sure he'll get one, but he's hoping he's not way out of it before that. Look, a rare bad lose control of the cue ball shot. That was dangerously close to going in the pocket.
Yes, it was, and you would feel that Reyes, the player that he is, shouldn't be anywhere near that pocket. Seems like to me he is a little bit nervous, Danny.
Yeah, he just jumped up a little bit on that shot, and he has that big, I'm nervous grin.
Well, the problem is that he plays so well dogging it that it's hard to beat him. If he dogs it, he plays.
That's the secret of champions. Everybody feels that pressure inside. It's who handles it best. He is apparently a little bit fidgety inside, but he's handling it. He's still getting out. But watch out when he feels relaxed and he's getting out.
A couple more racks like that one, and that'll certainly be a relaxer in itself. And, that's like a sedative. Opening up the balls, pocketing 1 or 2 balls on the break, and coming up with a real nice layout.
Okay. Score 2-0. Efren breaking again. Well, the table's back to its old characteristic.
Okay, now look at what happened there. Came up dry on the break, suffering really no consequence in leaving an offensive shot.
Well, that's why I think there is more luck in the break than most of the players want to admit. He just made a ball on the break and had a road map to get out. Now he didn't make one. The guy doesn't even have a chance to hit the ball. Now, I don't like his chances of pushing out with Efren.
Well, I don't like Efren shooting this shot. I don't believe he's going to shoot it. I believe he's going to pass it back to DAULTON.
You think so? No,
yeah.
I think he's going to cross the 9. The one towards the end rail near the 9 and go forward.
No, the speed of the shot doesn't lay right. So therefore,
doesn't?
No, he's passing it back to DAULTON. I have a much better vantage point than you do on this shot.
Well, I think he can do just that and kill the ball on that rail with a little bit of reverse. Let's see. I hope he shoots.
If he can, he has to hit it absolutely perfectly.
Well, that's why they're champions. He did it a little differently.
He went the other way?
He did it perfectly.
He certainly did.
Froze him on 2.
I'll tell you what, after watching Reyes run the first 2 racks and then leave himself that very difficult safety, he got up from that chair, executed it perfectly.
Well, like I tell some of my students, don't get overjoyed too soon when a great player is snookered, because he still is at the table. He still has the dice. Don't get elated until you're at the table shooting a ball in.
Boy, would I like to give a penny for his thoughts right now. He was at the table lining up some sort of a system or whatever he was doing, which was foreign to me. I don't know, but I would sure like to hear what he was thinking. Because narrowly missing it.
Narrowly missing is right. You know, you're only dealing with like quarter of an inch off when you go into that first rail for where he hit that one.
Okay, now the key ball here, Danny, naturally is the 5 ball. The 1, 2, 3, and the 4 quite clearly are available. But from the 4 to the 5, considering the position of the 8, that's when he may run into a problem.
Yeah, you're right. That is the only problem. And I think he's going to try to get on that rail eventually off the 4. Just about where his hand is right now, his bridge hand, that's where he wants the cue ball on the 5 when he finally gets to the 4.
Okay, now he would have liked to have ended up with an angle on the 4, actually the cue ball near the long rail. That way all he would have to do is cut the 4 in and then drift over for the 5. But I think he's lost his market for that type of an angle, so he's choosing to take the other route.
Right, but when you try to drop on that rail, maybe not. He might come on the inside of it. Yeah, he did.
Now this shot, you know, if you're a little careless here, this won't go.
Oh, you're right. This is not a hand grab. Like I said, I would have tried to fall on that other rail. You can get from the 5 to the 6 easily with an easy shot. This is not only a tough shot, the speed is a little bit tricky because he's got to bounce at least 2 rails, don't you think?
Well, it looks like he's playing underneath the side. He's not going to go beyond the side and go to the other end of it.
Right.
He's going to just go straight across. He's not going to fool with the side because in order to fool with the side and draw it back, you have to do it with a little more speed. And doing that, he may lose control of the cue ball. So he's going to cinch it and go across table.
You're right about that. Just well, he made it, and he came on this side of the side. So
yes, he did, and he hit it with pretty good speed. This is workable. It's not what you call, you know, ideal. It's workable.
Yeah, it's just because the cue ball got near the cushion and he can't jack up a little. But I think he can cut it in the corner and miss the 7 going in and just have a soft shot 1 rail. Like that.
Now that'll suffice. He'll then go 2 cushions. He would like to end up close to the side pocket, or on that angle, I should say, which favors the downside of the table slightly, but not too much. You don't want to get too much of an angle, and that's exactly what he may have ended up with, Danny. It looks like if he cuts it in, he's going to come real close to the 9, hitting it with a natural ball.
Yeah, you're right. But he's going to roll it. Good speed.
Okay.
He's playing with confidence, and he did what he had to do here. You know, you don't want Efren to get ahead 3-0, and he had a little bit of a tricky out, and he got there. Now it's 2-1, and he's breaking.
That's exactly right. Shannon DAULTON responds to the challenge in game number 3, runs the rack, and now comes to within 1 game of the lead, trailing 2 games to 1. There's Earl Strickland, and you know, in the past year and a half, we really haven't heard much about Earl the Pearl Strickland. But I want to tell you something, Danny. The last 2 performances here at the U.S. Open, he looks like he's getting back his stroke.
Oh, he's pocketing with confidence, and he does believe in his heart that he is the best player on earth. He believes it. And with his ability, it's tough to dispute it.
Nothing on the brick coming up dry. Very quickly, the left side of the table, there are 4 or 5 balls. The 3 near the bottom cushion. The 4 is the ball that's beneath the 9, slightly under the 9. Now the 2 balls near the lower left-hand corner are the 7 and the 8. So that's a problem that one of these players is going to have to deal with subsequent shots.
I'll tell you what I'm looking at here. If he can get absolutely close to the 4-9, he can shoot that combination. I mean, if he falls real well, you know, he could. If he gets the right angle on this 3, he can get on that 4-9 perfectly, and he can shoot that. I think that's what he's aiming at. The balls are tied up. Well, he got a little bit too thin. A little bit too thin.
Well, that's fine. Maybe he'll just go into the 4 if possible. Maybe he's a little too low on the 3 to go into the 4. But he'll go into the 4. He'll try to reposition the 4 here. Repositioning the 4 may be, well, not good enough to have a offensive shot for the 9, but he has a real good safety shot off the 4 if he chooses to shoot that.
That's what he'll shoot, and he'll put him in jail. The reason I thought he'd try to fall on the 4-9 combination is because of the 7-8 yet. You know, it would have been almost a free shot. Of course, he has a good save. Now, he might be thinking 3 in a row here because he could freeze Shannon right on that 9.
You know, he's looking to play the billiard on the 9 up the other corner.
Not a bad idea, just because the 7-8 are tied up. He's not going to get totally punished if he misses it.
And at the same time trying to maybe pocket the 4 in the upper right-hand corner. Let's take a look and see exactly
I don't know
what
if
he
that.
chooses to
I think
do.
if he shoots the 4 in the pocket, he's going to overcut that.
He's
9.
playing the 9. He's playing the 9.
Yeah. He's missing.
Narrowly missing it, but
But it was a free shot at the money, I
Nevertheless.
feel, because of the 7-8. The only time you can shoot crazy shots like that is when balls are tied up and you're not giving up. You're not betting the game on that particular hit, because it was a tricky hit.
you know, he could possibly spin the left-hand English behind the 9 with the cue ball. It's almost free. Let's see if he tries it.
Yeah,
No, he didn't
quite
put
get
any
under it.
English on it. You know, he could have gotten behind the 9 if he would have applied a lot of left-hand English on that particular shot. And
Well, he didn't leave a shot. He left another safe. Efren has to execute it. I mean, you know, he's going to hit the 4, but what will he do defensively here? Is he going to be able to put Shannon in trouble, not leave a shot, not leave a return safe? What do you think he's going to plan here?
well, he can hit the 4 directly. He doesn't have to kick it. So
Well, you think, well, yeah, he can fan it. I don't think he can hit it on the nose, or I'm sure he'd bank it.
no. He's probably going to try to hook him behind the 6 with
maybe
excellent cue ball speed.
Cut it real thin, try to get behind the 5.
No, just use the 6 to
That's
get
what he
behind.
did.
The 6.
Well,
This is ideal for Daulton. He maybe can bank the 4 into the 7 and 8, loosening up those balls and freezing the cue ball on the 6. Let's see if he has that angle.
that's what he did. Did he hit the balls? Well, he
That's
did
not good
something.
enough. It's not good enough
Because
because
he can't get back to the 5.
exactly the position of the 5 may preclude him from opening up the 7 and 8 when he pockets the 4. So therefore, you know, he really didn't do the job he wanted to do, but he did hook him behind the 6. Maybe he'll end up after Reyes kicks here. Maybe he'll end up with a better situation.
Yeah, in kicking this ball, you don't want to open those balls. He's going to try to tie him up further and just hope the guy doesn't get out. Good percentage.
Well, look at that. Didn't take much effort to do that, did it?
No.
How about repositioning the cue ball behind the 7 and 8, shooting up table into the 5-9 with the 4 ball, and loosening up the 7 and 8 with the cue ball?
I don't think right now you should be thinking about loosening up all those things. I think you want to leave a snooker that is awful tough to hit the object ball with and try to get him on 3. You know, it
Let's
is
take a
sitting.
look.
Well, let's see. It is sitting with a tough ball to hit. This is, you know, he's got him on 1 now. If Efren doesn't hit this one, he's going to have to make some kind of great kick.
Now watch this kick. He's going to maybe just dig down and try to bend it around, but the percentages
You
of
don't
that
have
aren't
room.
very good.
You know what he's going to do? He's going to kick 1 rail and try to fan that 4 ball. The edge is sticking out, and it looks like that's the only chance he's got to hit the ball.
Okay, right now I do believe, this is my opinion, that we are now watching the best
See what he's
player
doing?
in the world.
He's kicking at the far edge of that ball and
Ooh.
just missed it.
Narrowly.
Now he's going to have to, if Efren, I mean, if Shannon snookers him properly here and freezes him on the ball and take away a lot of the table to kick to, he might win a game on 3 in a row.
I've never seen Efren lose a game on 3
Right,
fouls. Never.
this might be a
Never.
record.
This is it. I've never seen Efren lose a game 3 consecutive fouls.
One time, got to take away a lot of the table here, or this man, like you say, he's the greatest kicker on earth. Don't give him any possibility with all his 3 cushion knowledge and all that. He needs a snooker
This won't
similar
work.
to the one. No, it won't work. He's going to have a 1 railer. He's going to have a clear shot at a 1 railer. Well, I wouldn't be betting going to the electric chair and Efren not hitting this one.
But he still has to be fairly precise because he's going to have to apply some English. I don't believe he's going to kick it from the bottom side.
I don't either. He needs the big side.
Yeah, and it's not natural either considering the position of the 5 and the 9. So therefore, if he goes up table, which I'm sure that he's going to end up kicking it in the
Wait a
other.
minute. He's kicking this way. Wow.
No good. That's a foul. That's 3 in a row. This match is tied up 2 games apiece.
He lost the game. It's 3 in a row. I'm surprised he kicked that way. You know, he did have a big ball the other way, and the 5 was still tied up. One of the rare times this man has used bad judgment. There's hope for us.
Well, you know, I don't know about that, but I agree with, you know.
Oh, I like to
with
see
your
that.
assessment
I like to see that.
Of how he should have kicked. I like kicking the other way too. I thought he had a much bigger ball.
Of course he did.
Considering that the 5 and the 9
still
were tied up.
He used bad judgment. You know, we'll give him a little failing on that test. Very rare thing just happened. He made a ball too, and he's got a shot at the 1 ball. And a pretty easy layup.
Yeah, not only does he have a shot, Danny, but look at the balls, the way they're positioned so nicely over the table. What he would like to do, he would like to go to the center of the table where he will then cut the 2 to his right, using the side rail, the long rail, to play position for the 3. He wants to get over a little further,
don't
a
get
little
over
further.
the top.
Okay, I think that'll suffice. He's bypassed the 8 enough to where he can bridge it comfortably.
Yeah.
Now he wants to come back. Okay, that was the key shot, going from actually the 1 to the 2, attaining the correct angle on the 2.
He didn't get exactly right yet. You know, he can't just cinch this ball because he's losing the cue ball and going towards the 5 and 8, you know, behind them. I don't think he can roll us in soft enough. He's going to have to go back and forth. He can't just cinch this ball. He's got to go back and forth here. There it is.
Make sure that he hits it with enough speed.
And forth.
Okay, excellent. Excellent shot.
It is. Very good shot. Which you don't want to do when you have that easy a layout. You know, getting a shot on the 1 like that, I mean, he never should have had anything difficult to do, but he handled it.
That's a good stroke. Good stroke. And that which has enabled him with his stroke to get back for the 5 ball, which in a lot of cases another player may have not been able to get back. I don't like the way he played this.
No,
he's got a problem
on the other side, yeah.
Now he's left-handed. He's going to have a problem reaching this.
Well, the problem isn't reaching it. The problem is he left himself a tough shot with an easy layout. That's a no-no. He should have gone on the other side of the 8, the way you would have and the way most players would have. He's got a thin hit, but the cue ball's flying around again. He miscued.
He may have gotten away with it, maybe. I do believe he's gotten away with it in regard to giving up an offensive shot.
Well, I'll tell you the truth. I think that's a foul myself. He miscued, and the Pharaoh hit the cue ball. That should have been a foul.
But that's never called.
It's never called.
Never called.
But that
so
is
you
a
can't
foul.
set a precedent here and call it.
Well, I don't know. I had it called on me once. I miscued, and they called a foul on me.
Well, you may have miscued when you try to jump over a ball.
No.
They were calling that foul.
No, it was just that. I went to draw the ball, and the Pharaoh hit the cue ball too, which you usually do when you miscue. But it's just a case of nitpicking, maybe. He banked at it. And did he leave the window? I think he did.
But do you know what he did when he banked at it? Here's the thoughts that went through his mind when he banked at that ball. Well, I got a chance to make the bank on the 7. In the event that I don't make the bank on the 7, I have 2 balls, not just the 9, but also the 8 ball as a possible interfering balls.
But the window opened.
Well, if the window opened, then you know, that's one of those things.
He's sitting there shaking his head. I don't know if that means he can make it or he can. I thought he can. Well, he could at least hit it, so he's going to play safe at the worst. That's what he did. And it was an excellent touch, and he totally snookered him and froze him on the end rail.
Well,
that was a great shot.
You can't do it any better than that.
No, that is how to do it, folks. And now here we are with, again, the greatest kicker in the game. Let's see if he can come with another one of his magic shots. That's why they call him the magician.
No, he wants to probably hit the 7.
Yeah.
Oh, well, he's going to hit it, and he try to stick there and hit it full. Wow, he hit it underneath.
And saved him.
And return the favor, if you will. You know that happens so often.
It's not an accident. When it happens
Yeah,
so often.
exactly. Then there's so many people out there that say, they're probably saying, boy, did he get lucky. But that happens so often that, I got to believe that there's a little more than just
Well, there
luck.
is, Billy. There is. Let me tell you something. You have to be good enough to have a chance to get lucky on that shot. That's where the only luck comes in.
But look at this return shot. I mean, what a battle of safeties we are now watching right here.
Yeah, this is classical.
This is really world-class stuff here at the highest level here.
Okay, what does he do now? Bank the 7 and go behind the 9?
I wouldn't be surprised to see him try to reposition the cue ball behind the 9. This is the type of a shot that takes a perfect touch. Let's see if he can execute this shot, if in fact this is the shot he's trying to shoot.
No, he tried to put it behind the 8 and the 9. Like you said earlier, he had
Right.
2 balls to get him with, and he didn't, but then he did the next best thing, distance. On this equipment, if you can't snooker the guy, distance may get it.
And it's another amazing thing as how his mind works. That was his instinctively he went right to the correct shot.
That's exactly right. And if you find the correct shot every time, you are one heck of a player. That was a rare bad stroke.
He jumped
up. He's feeling the heat a little, and after 3-4 safes in the same game, your nerves may go. You need shooting to keep loose. This safe, kick can get to the nerves of a player.
That's a great observation. And that so often happens to us, and we really don't know why it happens or what's responsible for us being nervous, but that's exactly what it is. When you're playing a safety battle, back and forth, it's wearing, it's taxing on you without you even realizing it.
And he made the bank, by the way, and didn't get position.
Well, that wasn't in his plans.
No, he wanted to snooker him.
Yeah.
And he figured the shot is tough enough to make, so I won't worry about it going. Right?
Exactly.
But now what? Can he fan this ball and go behind the 9 again?
Well, let's take a look and see if that
That's what he's
option's available.
going to try to do. He's going behind this 9 if he can.
Now look how he went
Perfect.
behind the 9. He went behind it on the other side of the 9.
Yes, I don't know if he can hit it, but I don't think he can. I think he's snookered.
Let's think. I don't believe he is snookered. I don't think Reyes is really totally happy with the result of that shot.
You're right. Shannon is running around, warming up and winding up to shoot. You can tell when a guy is winding up to shoot a shot rather than a safe. So he must have a shot at this. But he overcut it. Again, a nice bad stroke. He let go of the bridge. He had a semi-jump up. He has to talk to himself and find out what happened to those 2 shots. He should realize by now that he jumped up. So
yeah, he's experiencing some intimidation out there. It's like when a person walks in traffic and walks in front of a car. There's fear, there's intimidation there, and intimidation in the billiard world is playing against Efren Reyes, I would imagine. So after game number 5, it's Reyes with the lead 3 games to 2. Knowing that Reyes follows you is so intimidating. Particularly when you're at the U.S. Open on the winner side, and there's a lot of people watching you, and there's a lot of pressures out there. And right now, I think he's starting to feel it.
I'm going to quote John Horsfall, and that's the Canadian player I was raving about. I interviewed him after his match with Strickland, and I said, were you intimidated and nervous playing Strickland? He says, no, I learned a long time ago, concentrate on the fundamentals and play the balls. And that's what Shannon has to tell himself right now. When he feels that little doggish feeling, and shots come up where we have that little feeling we're afraid of the shot, that should be the signal to your body that you have a tendency to jump up. Now, concentrate on the fundamentals. Very big.
I understand totally what you're saying, but it's so much more difficult to do what you described.
Right.
And if you can do that, then I think that it's really a gift. It's a special gift, because to concentrate on the balls and totally disregard the presence of an Efren Reyes.
It's athletic discipline, and all champions have it. He has the edge to make this. Okay, where's he going here?
Now, he had to hit it. He
had to
hit-
stroke it because he had very little room to make, and he had to put a little cinch speed, we call it, and sometimes your cinch speed is not the speed required for the position.
Exactly, that time the speed that he hit that shot with wasn't really conducive to playing position for the 3 in the corner.
Right. And he left the shot here. I don't know if Shannon's going to get up and stroke this and try to come back and do something with the 5, but it is a very tough shot, only because to get from the 5 to the 6, you have to be so perfect on that 5. I don't think he can get perfect on the 5 from here. And he don't either, so he tried to play a safe and got lucky. He didn't play it this way, but he got lucky. He double kissed the ball and it bounced over there. And that was one of the lucky safes.
You know what I liked him doing there? I liked him crossing the 3, setting the cue ball back up table behind a 5 and 8. I thought that shot was a high percentage shot.
Efren kicked it in, I believe. Oh, just missed it. It almost went in, and he would have had some kind of shot.
No, it looks like that Shannon can apply left-hand English on this shot and try to go back up the same rail the 3's on. That way, he really increases his chances of coming up with a shot for the 5 if he can get that much English on it and stay on this side of the table.
Yeah, I think he can. Left-hand English, stroke it, and go like 2 rails to the 5.
Yeah, and it wouldn't hurt him to overstroke it, hitting it with a little harder speed, because even if he runs into the 5 or the 8, he still figures to come up with some kind of a shot.
Exactly.
So don't dog your stroke on this shot and go ahead and hit and stroke it a little
I don't
bit.
think you could shoot too hard on this shot. No. That's what he tried to do, and he did exactly what you said, but he got a little unlucky maybe.
Well, he's got a shot.
Got a shot.
He got a shot. Now
He's
he
got a
can
shot.
cut this in the corner. He can elevate, cut it in the corner, and end up with a shot on the 6. And if he makes the 5, he's going to be in perfect
Very
line.
difficult shot to handle. You know, he could have had a little better reward. If he didn't hit the 5, he would have wound up hitting the 8 straight on and would have been perfect. Now he still has work to do. He's got the jack up a little bit because he's an inch from the cushion, and it makes the shot a lot tougher. And it's a fairly thin hit.
Let's take a look at the 6 in relation to the 9, Rick, and see if we can get a close-up on that to determine whether or not the 6 will pass or if there's enough room. It doesn't look like the 6 will go in the lower right-hand corner, does it?
Maybe not. Maybe not. So can he give it a real good stroke, go past the 7 and go 1 rail into the balls with a little speed, maybe a little reverse? No, he didn't even consider that. Maybe it goes. The way he shot that 6 may go.
I don't know if it goes or not, but it doesn't look like it goes to me. Now, this is one of the shots I feel that Reyes hits as well or better than anyone in the world. It's a very thin cut shot. If he opts to shoot this shot, he cuts balls so thinly. I mean, it just amazing how thin
he
he can
is
hit balls.
pointing at the 6 for some reason. He's thinking about something coming off the 6. I don't know if he's trying to figure a way to make the 6 or play a safe.
Notice how thinly he struck that ball, overcutting it.
Yeah, that's overcutting a room rent and scratching. Now we'll find out if that 6 goes.
Well, Reyes played the right side of the 9-6, or he played to open up the 9-6, so which is an indication to me that it doesn't go. Well, Dalton's positioning the cue ball like it does go.
Yeah, I get the idea it goes. Because the way he banked that 5 and tried to fall down here, I believe the ball goes.
Well, that, I'm really baffled then why Reyes played the 5 in the fashion that he did.
Well, he was thinking of something for sure. Yeah, he had a clean shot at it. Yeah, I thought that when he banked the 5 and fell down here. What Efren was thinking, I don't know. He overcut the 5. You know, that didn't help control the cue ball. Oh, it looks like he got pretty good on this one.
Yeah, on the monitor we can clearly see that he has a nice shot on the 8.
Uh-oh.
But he struck it poorly.
Uh-oh, he got a little angered, slammed his stick on the table. That's not good for the shaft.
And he's probably saying to himself, why'd I do that?
You
Not
can't-
miss the ball, but slam his stick.
You can't do this with Efren and win. I mean, he did all that nice playing, and then he fell on the 8 real well and didn't cut it enough.
Is that being careless, Danny, or
Sure.
is that just pure carelessness?
Yeah, that's not pressure.
Because Shannon has excellent eyes, good stroke, and I just think that was just a
Just
careless act. Game number 6 goes to Reyes, who now takes a 2-game lead in the match, 4 games to 2.
Well, Dalton, that one might haunt him. You can't give away games like that with Efren.
Horsfall's leading Parica in the other match.
3-1.
On the
I
on
picked
the
him.
undefeated side, 3 games to 1. Parica's got his work cut out for him there.
Yeah, that guy plays perfect. That guy gives away nothing. If you beat that guy, you're going to have to beat him. He's not giving you any games from what I see. He is a tough cookie. Another guy to deal with in the future.
In other words, it's not a fluke.
No fluke.
In other words, the man out there with the vest and the unorthodox style, and he carries the chalk in the pocket, he's not a fluke. He's a
the
real
fluke
player, or
is
what?
the fluke is British terminology for getting lucky. Fluked the ball in means you lucked it in. He is a good, solid player. He's not going to give away a thing. Doesn't miss. A little hook shot here. And he curved it and just spun a little bit out of there and gave him a shot on the 1. But he doesn't have position. He can't cinch this in the side because he doesn't have a shot on the 2. And in that case, it doesn't even pay to make the 1 or take a chance in making it because you can only lose with the shot. If you miss it, Efren might get down here and bank the 2 or something off of the 1. And if you make it, you're not winning the game from there. So it might be a bad percentage shot. Avoid shots you can lose with and not win with. He better get his fundamentals together. That was another stab and jump up and twist. You know, he's not handling that.
Well, I didn't really feel he executed that shot poorly. He had a good thought in mind. Pocket the 1, play safe off the 2. You know, bring back the cue ball behind the 5 in the event that I missed the 1, possibly coming up with a hook, which he's done.
But he did it without form. In other words, the present jump up problem he's been having in the last few games, that didn't help him.
Well, Danny, that happens to be really a natural characteristic that he has. I mean, he does jump a lot. You know, and he jumps even when he's winning and playing inferior
He does.
players. Yes.
Well, okay. So far, I've seen it hurt him.
Well, you know, it can hurt him.
Let's see.
It can hurt him. It looks like he's got an angle here off the 1 to go into the 3-2.
It looks that way. And that's just what he did. Is he going to get the best of it? Yes.
Is he going to get the best of it? That's textbook.
Put it better with his fingers.
Now, the only problem out there is the 5. The 5 is positioned behind the 7.
Mm-hmm. But it depends on the angle he falls on. He looks like he's going to billiard this 3 over to the other pocket. Now, if he can get the right angle on the 4 to get where he is right now, you know, see where the 5 is? If he can get the position on the 4 to get this cue ball back here, he's all right. It's very important now. Get the right angles, maybe straight in. No, he got just the wrong angle. I don't think he has enough angle to bounce off that rail.
Looks like he's a little awkward on the 4. He has the angle that they actually suggest that after pocketing the 4, he'll come down the right side of the table instead of the left.
Yeah, he didn't get perfect. A little more angle and he would have had a good shot.
Let's put a lot of draw on this and see what happens.
Yeah.
No, it's not going to happen for you now
No.
because you went into the 6.
Well, he really didn't have a good angle on it. Can he bank this ball? Because, you know, he can bank. But can he get, if he banks this, it looks like he might be having to settle for another bank. He might have to bank out here. 1 bank, and he drew the ball and has position.
Oh, yeah, that's
the Kentucky.
that's exciting stuff there.
It is. That's the Kentucky stuff in him. That one didn't roll off.
No, but he's ended up straight on the 7. Not that that's a big problem, but certainly you wanted an angle off of the 7.
Right, you don't want to have to be doing all this stuff with the cue ball to get to the next ball. You got to have some easy innings right now to get relaxed.
See, that's where Reyes is well over, you know, a lot of the players. He would have ended up with a nice angle on the 7.
Yeah, no matter what, he falls on the right side of the balls. That's what it's called.
Exactly. Now, he executed that shot perfectly.
He's perfect.
He created the angle that he ended up.
Perfect. This is what you want. You want to just make the object ball and automatically go to the next one. And that's what he's doing here.
He stayed down on that shot.
Yes,
and
he did.
Let's see if he can stay down on this one.
Yes, that's what he has to work on right now. Great. What he has to exaggerate right now is staying down. Exaggerate it when you're having that flaw.
Game number 7 goes to Shannon DAULTon, who now trails only by 1 game in the match, 4 games to 3. And Mr. Horsfall now extends his lead against Jose Parica in the other winner's bracket match, 4 games to 1. Reed Pierce is ahead of Buddy Hall in a loser's bracket match, 3 games to 2.
Yeah.
And Earl Strickland and Dave Bowman are knotted up at 4 games apiece. That also is a loser's bracket match. The loser has to leave.
Pack your bags, go fishing. Our cameraman said yes, 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 because that's what he does for a living in Key West. He's a fishing guide and a top one. Rick, what is his last name?
Bully.
What is it?
Bully.
Bully?
Bully.
Bowley. Rick. Well, I call him Rick.
And why are you asking me what his last name is then?
Because I would have liked to said his name right now. He might have got some business from one of the Accu-Stats tape buyers. You know, he's a fishing guide in Paradise.
That is paradise, isn't it?
It sure is. It sure is. I go there after a couple hard tournaments. I go to the Keys and relax and fish. There's no better place to relax.
Coming up dry on the break, and I might add, hitting them awfully well.
And selling out. I mean, you know, if the 4 goes, there are no problems here. And that's what he's looking at right now.
He certainly has a nice ball in the 3 to lead him to the 4, doesn't he?
Yeah, well, the way he looked, the 4 doesn't go, but he could change that.
Well, he can do so much considering the position of the 3. Right. He can play position for the 4 to play a safe, or, you know, he can bump the 4 off the 3.
Well,
There's a
I
lot
think
of things
if
he
it
can do.
doesn't go, he's going to stick right here, make the 3, and go right at the 4 softly.
Yeah, there are a lot of things he can do here.
Yeah, he's got the angle now. If the 4 doesn't go, he can roll right into it.
And he would like to hit this softly. In the event that it doesn't go, he should strike this shot softly, just nudging the 4. Not enough to where the 4 rolls out of position.
No, I think it goes.
You think it goes now?
Sure, because that's what he did. I'm sure if it didn't go, I mean, he wouldn't do that, Billy.
Exactly.
Funny. But he looked at it a few times. It wasn't totally obvious, but he finally decided it was, and he cheated the pocket a little. He did look at it a couple times, and he closed one eye. That's the serious part.
Now, he would actually like to get high on the 6, hitting the bottom cushion for position for the 7. He doesn't want to get below the 6 and shoot and use the side rail. He wants to use the bottom rail off of the 6. So he wants to actually come back after pocketing the 5.
Well, he can't reach it real well.
This is one of the few times we're going to watch Efren Reyes use the bridge. You know, he's really ambidextrous. He can use either hand, and he's shooting left-handed. I've really never seen him miss a ball. He wants to come back around halfway across the table. Well, he's using the side cushion. I was surprised to see him use the side cushion. Now he'll come. I thought that using the bottom cushion was a better route to the 7, considering the position of the 8.
Well, is he going to play for position in the side pocket on the 7? Maybe he's doing that.
Yeah, that's the pocket I figured he would. Now, you see, he's
no problem here.
I don't know if there is or isn't right now.
He's not straight in. He can hit this lower end of the rail. I think.
Why is he shaking his head like that?
Because he likes to shake his head.
He's not fooling anyone. Trust me. He's got a little bit of a problem.
He likes to scratch his head too.
That's why I like the bottom cushion route on the 7.
Yeah. Maybe when he scratches his head, it means one thing. When he shakes, it means another.
Well, he got the maximum out of that particular shot. Meanwhile,
he's having trouble bridging the ball, but I'm sure he's not going to have trouble making it and going 2 rails to the 9. They're all clapping over there, so that means Bowman won a game because Bowman is the hometown favorite here. So anytime you hear a little noise in the background, Bowman won another one. Meanwhile, this game is 5-3 favor of Efren Reyes.
And Horsfall is leading Jose Parica 5-1.
No surprise to me. Nothing against Jose, but from what I saw, this guy is someone to contend with for the Efrens and the Stricklands and the Archers. This guy can play.
You know, I really haven't had the opportunity to watch him play. And I wish I would have, because the way you speak, you know, it really arouses my curiosity.
Well, I'll tell you one other thing, how strong he played. He turned Grady into a stake horse. Yeah, I said, Grady, he's convinced me, and I like to back him too. I said, but now who's going to play him? Back to this match, it looks like if he falls on the 4, he has a chance to get out.
Excellent shot. Attaining the perfect angle for the 2, not only to drop nicely for the 3, but also to attain a nice angle for the 3 to drop nicely for the 4. That's what I call ideal position.
You're right. You got to go in 3s. You have to leave an angle for an angle for an angle. And that's what he did here. The 4 doesn't go everywhere, and he needs this little off into the rail angle. He got that. Maybe even a little thin.
Yeah, he did. He looks like he's gotten a little thin on this ball. Now, all of a sudden, he may be better off playing position for the upper right-hand corner.
He overcut it. He overcut it, and he left the rail first, but I don't think that Efren can get to the ball real easily. I mean, the 4 ball. He's looking to see if the 4 goes in this pocket here. Does the 4 go by the 8? It might. It might go by the 8.
Absolutely it goes by the 8.
Oh, well, then he just has to go rail first and not get snookered by the 6 or the 5.
Well, how do you know he can go rail first? That doesn't look like he can go rail first to me, unless he's got that window there, which is he's going to go around the 7. Looks like he has to
hook it a little bit. He has to look at. He has to curve it just a hair. It looks like. And if he makes it, the cue ball's certainly going the right direction to get to the 4. But maybe he doesn't have any rail to hit here.
Yeah, that's
what he's looking at. I think he's in jack up and curve it.
I don't think he's going to do well with this shot. That's my prediction.
Well, the ball's so deep in there that he don't have much of a target. But I think he's going to handle this. Yeah, I would.
Wow, barely.
Barely, but barely gets it.
Yeah, in that instance, barely does get it, but it didn't get it by much. Daulton had an excellent opportunity to get back into this match, shooting the 3 ball.
Oh, look at this!
Looked like he moved a little bit before.
Yeah,
as he shot.
Up.
As he shot, looked like he moved slightly.
Yeah, that wasn't a classic solid Efren stroke. A rare miss. Rare miss.
Oh, rare miss. Very rare miss considering what he missed.
How easily. Yeah.
Daulton, if he plays position for the right side, he has to make sure he stays below the 6.
Well, that's what he did. That's what he's got an angle to do what he wants. I mean,
Horsfall, 6-1. Making very short work of Jose Parica, at least up
so
to this
far.
point.
Yeah.
At least up to this point.
Well, you know Parica well enough that he's not going to lay down and die. But anyway, Daulton decided to go for this combination, and he got pretty good on it. That's the secret of combinations, falling good on him.
He's guiding the shot.
And he made it.
It was easy enough for him to guide it in. Game number 9 goes to Dalton thanks to Reyes. He trails only by 1 game now in the match, 5 games to 4. That's one of those very rare misses. We're talking about unforced error. There was a shot that you know he's going to make 100 out of 100 times. Did he get careless, or did he allow the angle on the 6 leading to the 7 interfere with his thoughts?
Well, we have 2 rare things now that's happening in Efren Reyes' match. He lost the game on 3 fouls in a row, and he missed an easy 5-ball. His concentration got a little bit hazy, maybe. You know, he don't have to be totally rested. This has been a little grueling, this tournament so far. Tough equipment, tough breaking the ball. You know, he's not superhuman. He's a great player, but you know, he can also feel the pressure and get a little bit tired.
Very well put, Danny. 6-4 Bowman over Strickland. 6-1 Horsfall over Parica. 5-4 on the feature match. Reyes over Dalton. Reyes at the table.
And Buddy Hall and
Reed Pierce tied up.
Reed Pierce, 3
games apiece.
Well, Efren has a shot at the 1. Let's see if he can fall on the 2.
Interesting shot. Upper left-hand corner with a little left-hand English, or maybe just right-hand English.
Or no English. Just make the ball and fall on the 3. He's got a pretty easy layout here. I don't see any problems.
No problems whatsoever.
But there were none last rack either, and he missed an easy shot. So let's see if he is
no problems
got
whatsoever.
that out of his mind.
This is just connect the dots here. 4 to the 5 to the 6 to the 7 to the 8 to the 9.
Oh, it's so easy, Billy. That's why you're sitting here and you're out of the tournament.
Well, it's easy for me to describe it.
Yes. You mean you're a better describer than you are a player?
What kind of a question was that?
Well, I like the way you describe. You know, I mean, if only you can play that well.
Would you bet on me if I described and Reyes played?
It'd be pick 'em. It'd be pick 'em.
Well, thank you, Gary.
You're welcome.
I never realized you thought so highly of my game.
Oh, you know that. I think you're a heck of a player, Billy. But you're a better describer.
Game number 10, as I describe it, will go to Reyes. It looks like it at least. And with the pocketing of the 9, he will then take a 2-game lead in the match. 6 games to 4. Parica, all he does is rock. He's trailing in his match 7 games to 1. Horsfall very calmly and sedately.
He is very calm. That's the thing that impressed me. You know, if it was a freaky match with wild play, but he got up from the opening gong. It was cool and collected, and he's just into the game, and don't matter who he's playing. That is tough to beat. You know, he's got snooker experience, pocketing experience. He can play.
He's like the James Bond of pool. Cool. Calm.
Yes, he is. Okay, 9 ball.
9 ball.
Efren made the 9 on the break in the far left-hand corner, so he goes to 7-4.
7 games to 4.
Well, that table got a little looser there. I haven't seen that much action now all week on this table. He made, beside the 9, he made a few balls. He made like 3 balls. You always like to win an easy one. You know, when you're in a tough match and you're struggling a little bit, and you got to admit he's struggling a little bit, making the 9 one swing might turn him loose.
What about again? Not this time.
Please, people, don't
Not
go,
this
ooh,
time.
that's cold-blooded. You don't want a player to make it twice. Efren didn't want to win again that way. You think he did?
What's Dalton doing? Looking to position
He's
the cue ball
cutting it
behind
in.
the 5?
No, he isn't. He's snookering him.
Excellent shot. Doing
shot.
exactly what he intended to do. Freezing the cue ball to the 5, repositioning the 1 down this end of the table. This is a very difficult kick.
I want to tell you something about a young player like Dalton. Most of the young players, they get behind 3 games. They would have been cutting at that ball and trying to get games back. he has the experience of a veteran, and the patience of a veteran to shoot this particular shot. You don't get the games back quickly with safes, and he's showing some great discipline here.
Well, you really can't consider Daulton an inexperienced player just because he's 25 years old. He started playing pool when he was like 8 years old. He was traveling on the road when he was like 10.
No, you're right. You're right. Well, that's exactly what I said. He hit that with the experience of a veteran.
And he's a one-pocket player, too, so therefore, there's no mystery why he opts to go for safeties opposing. What a kick that was. Did you see him shorten
he
the
had
angle
to
with the
draw
draw?
that ball. The natural angle wasn't there. And if you go into the cushion with draw, it comes off sharper. If you go with high ball, it goes longer, just for your kicking benefit out there. And Efren's an expert at adjusting that way.
Okay, now take a look at the layout. This is a very good opportunity for Daulton considering the position of the balls. Notice the 5 and the 6 hook up together. The 1, 2, 3 are all hooked up. The 3 to the 4 is maybe something that he has to be careful with. The 3 to the 4, everything else, looks like it's okay.
Well, he got on the 2 very good to get on the 3, to get on the 4. That's the thing we were talking about earlier. Have an angle on the ball to get the right angle on the next ball to get to the next ball.
Now, even though the 7 is beneath the 9 somewhat, the position of both the 5 and the 6 may allow him to get comfortably to the 7, considering
the 7
the
is
5
way
and the
away
6.
from the 9. The 9's not affecting the 7.
But it does cut off a large area. You have to get on this quarter of the table to get there.
He'll make sure that he gets way down here. You just can't underdo it, that's all.
No, he can't get too deep here, because if he gets too much of an angle, the 8 then comes into play.
You're right.
That's ideal. Oh, now he's gotten deep. I don't know if the 8's going to be a factor or not.
Yeah, if he hits the cue ball with a nice high stroke, he can go one rail and hit this lower side rail.
Watch out for the 8.
Oh, yeah, you're right. He came awful close. I wouldn't have gone that path, but that's why I'm not in the tournament anymore.
This is game number 12. Daulton trails 4 games to 7.
But not giving up.
Horsfall still charging. Daulton 5, Reyes 7.
Yeah, I haven't seen Parica at the table in an hour.
Horsfall's very cool guy, very cool customer.
Well, you're going to see him again because he's going to be in the next few matches for this title. He can play. I know I'm oversaying it. You know why? Because I only saw him once, and he really impressed me. And that's good to see because you need a bunch of power so no one dominates the game. And that's exactly what some of the other foreigners are bringing into this game.
Adds a bit of class to the game. Dressed
sure.
in his vest, carrying his chalk in his vest pocket, chalking up just about every shot, addressing the table in an English sort of a way.
Oh yeah, the Canadians and the English have that mild-mannered, not exciting, not loud, vulgar. I mean,
gentlemanly-like approach.
Gentlemanly-like approach. That's another good word, Billy. I'm glad you said that. He got on the 50-yard line there, but I don't think it's going to hurt him any.
The 3 and the 5 are kind of like tied up, especially when you consider the angle that he has on the 2. You really can't really do too much with the angle that he has.
No, he can't. He may have to pass up the shot. Oh, I don't know. I think I would have played safe off the 2. He's shooting the combination, and I don't know if you can control the 3 ball and the cue ball on this shot. You know, you can make this 5. Where is the 3 and the cue ball going? Okay, he made the ball, and he's going to snooker himself on the 3. That was the bad part.
You know, that's a great point, Danny. You know, why would a man with the experience of Daulton choose to play a 3-5 combination unless he knew absolutely sure that he can control the lead ball, the 3 ball.
Because he is 25, and as great as he is, there's a few things he don't know yet, and that's good for some of us.
Difficult kick.
Very difficult. And this is back to, if you hit it high, the cue ball is going to go long off of the rail, and if you hit it low, it's going to come sharp. Now, the natural angle looks like the 9 is in the way, so he's going to have to go by it and then draw it back.
I don't even like kicking, but of course he can get it behind the 8 if he gets it
well.
well.
He hit the 9. He just brushed the 9.
He did, but just brush it. Once again, not by much, but enough.
Enough to sleep in the street.
Well, he didn't really use good judgment in electing to go for the combination.
Yeah, he didn't have control. He didn't have any idea where the 3 is going. That's the way I.
Another option he had available to him was on the 2 ball. He didn't have to pocket the 2 ball.
No.
He could have entertained a thought of playing some sort of a safety off the 2 ball.
Because then, if you get ball in hand on the 2, you can get to that difficult spot on the 3. It's that little judgment that comes with experience.
You know, just because you have a shot on a ball doesn't necessarily mean you have to go for it. In some instances, you're better off playing a safety. That happened to have been one of those times. Efren falling a little short of the mark here, a little thin on the 7.
Which the big difficulty here is, I'm sure he can make the 7 with no trouble, but all of a sudden the cue ball's traveling a little bit further than you want, and can you control it? He's going to soft kill it 1 rail.
Well, that's one of the shots that he has in his arsenal that, and I'm going to go on a limb and say this, that the American players may have but don't use very often at all.
You're right. That is a very good touch to hit a ball thin and kill it the way he does. He didn't get totally the best of it, but I'm sure he'll pocket this ball.
Cleanly.
Yes, and he got sort on the 50-yard line again.
But this is okay for him because he's accustomed to shooting balls like this with confidence because I mentioned how thinly he cuts balls in the side with no problem.
Yes, perfect.
Game number 13 goes to Reyes. He now extends his lead in the match by 3 games, 8 games to 5.
And Buddy Hall and Reed Pierce are tied at 4 each.
Mr. Horsfall is leading 8 games to 1 against, in my opinion, one of the greatest players on earth, Jose Parica.
And he's playing great right now. That's what I mean about, you said the intimidation factor. He's not intimidated. If you're not intimidated against Earl, I don't think you could be intimidated against anybody.
You mean Parica?
Yes, but the guy beat Earl and wasn't intimidated, so I knew he wouldn't be intimidated there.
I stand corrected. You're right. He did beat Earl.
Calmly beat Earl. That was the impressive part. Well, anyway, back to this match. I think he's going to start going into firepower here. I think safeties aren't working. He better start shooting. That's the only way he's getting back in this match.
Well, that's the only way you can beat Reyes. You can't beat Reyes trying to play a safety game with him, a chess game with him. You have to go to the offense and hope that you're on and things are clicking. Because if they are, you got a chance. If they aren't, you give it your best.
Exactly right. And that's the strategy you have to use. You're just not going to outmove this man. So you better get on the roll offensively. He has a little bit of a combination here that he would sure like to make. This would put him within 2 games. You know, he's not out of the woods yet, but he must make this shot. And he did.
I like the way he hit that shot with authority. He didn't roll it. He hit it with a good stroke, increasing the accuracy somewhat of the shot, making sure that he gave himself a good chance to win the game. And he did. At the end of game number 14, Daulton trails by only 2 games now, Danny, in the match, 8 games to 6. He's got a chance. Horsfall at the table, finally missing a ball after what an assault he put on Parica, leading 8 games to 1.
He finally missed the ball.
Yeah, he finally missed the ball. Parica, a rare opportunity at the table.
And he's grinning. Always smiling, good-natured guy.
He is a very good-natured man, and really knows how to face adversity and deal with it well. He's so proud of his big heart. He feels that he, more so than any other player in the world, has the ability to come from behind and surmount leads. He's got a chance to prove it.
Yeah, now he does have a chance. You can only prove you can come from behind if you get way behind.
And he is way behind.
Okay, back to this match now. Shannon is snookered here.
The applause that you just heard was for Parica after experiencing an onslaught of 8-1 by Horsfall. He now finally wins the game, and everyone appreciates his efforts, and they give him a hand, a well-deserved hand, for absorbing so much punishment and then coming back and running 2 balls. That's what he did to win that game.
But if you're dogging it, you don't have to make the 6 and draw back to the 7. So, you know, there's his big heart again. He certainly didn't give up. We know that.
Strickland and Bowman are tied up 6 games apiece. Reed and Hall tied up also 4 games apiece.
Efren played a 4-railer and executed it perfectly.
And not only did he execute the 2 ball perfectly, but he also executed the 1 ball in terms of controlling the 1 ball. He controlled both balls. In case one didn't work, the other did. In this case, they both worked.
Well, that's what I always say. In most safes, it's where you put the object ball that's the important part. So that if you miss a safe, you don't sell out. Now, he's got a 3-rail kick here. He hit it.
Good hit. And he needs to brush the 9. He brushed the 9.
Snookered him on the 6.
And he's in back of the 6.
I'll tell you what, this is an important game. I mean, you know, if Efren wins it, he's ahead 9-6. If he loses it, it's 8-7. You know, it's a game.
And he's not going to hit this 1. That's my prediction.
Oh, well. I don't know. I would never say that about him. He may have to use the bridge and go 2 rails towards this corner where he is right now.
He's not going to hit it. Maybe he won't even attempt to hit this 1. He may feel that he has more benefit with this shot if he tries to tie up something, maybe the 8-5.
Yeah, that's what he's doing. This is a good lesson for you people out there. When you don't have a good kick and it looks like you're absolutely going to give up ball in hand, try to tie up some balls and at least let your opponent work. And that's the percentage thing. He's using it. If he wins 10 games out of 100 because he did that, it's worth it.
Well, it looks like Dalton's taking the approach of the 3 foul.
Yeah, maybe he wants
3 fouls again. He
wants another record here. He wants to win 2 games in the same match with 3 in a row. And I'll tell you what, he left an edge 1 rail, but you know, if he doesn't hit this ball, he figures to be in a super trap his next shot.
Jose Parica mounting a charge of his own, coming back winning 2 consecutive games, trailing now 8 games to 3. Okay, now he has to kick this and hit it accurately.
He better hit it. No good.
Bad hit. Bad hit.
Bad hit.
Now, will the 2 pass and go into the side pocket? That's the question. If it doesn't, Danny, what do you do?
Well, it looks like the ball may go on the side, but what is your strategy here? Are you going to try to freeze him on something and get him on 3 in a row? He's looking to see if the 2 goes in that side. You know, you don't want to die with trying to get a guy on 3 if you got a Mickey Mouse run out.
Okay, what I would do if I were he, if the 2 would not pass, I would break open the 2 from the 7, repositioning the cue ball behind the 6.
He's playing safe. I think he's freezing him on the 6.
And if at all possible, I would have tried to break loose the 2 from the 7 at the same time.
Okay, he's got him on 2 again.
But that's not going to work because he can kick this. He's got a big ball.
Well, we said that in that other time, and he didn't.
But he's going to hit this one.
Okay, let's
you
see.
You can take this to the bank.
See.
You know, they'll take it. Believe me.
Okay, we'll see. We'll see.
That's why I would have definitely.
He not only kicked it, he made a ball.
That's why I would have opened up the 2-7 there. Put him on the 6, open the 2-7. Now you got something.
Yeah. He not only hit it, he made a ball. He said, no one's going to beat me twice in the same match on 3 foul rule. Nobody. And he really came with a hit.
Well, we're not going to live to see it.
Well, this match's not over yet, so don't say that.
Well, I still say it.
In sports, just when you think you saw everything, something new happens.
Well, that's true, but I highly doubt it. a little roughly. Now, from the angle that he's left himself on the 2, I do believe it goes from this angle.
Yeah, but if it does, why didn't Shannon run out? Why did he try to play safe if it ran out? If he could run out, he couldn't. It's a safe, and not a good one.
No, not a good one at all. He wanted to hit the
He's
2 ball
smiling
a
at
little
himself,
more.
and now he'll scratch the back of his head. That's what he does when he makes a bad
Yeah,
shot.
that's definitely a trait of his.
He
Whenever he
smiles
makes a
and
mistake,
he scratches the back of his head.
whenever he makes a mistake, that's what he does.
He don't scratch his head much.
No, he doesn't scratch his head much. At least not enough. Don't jump. You got to stay down. See, he did stay down. Hit it nicely.
Yes, he hit it. He hit it. However, he still don't have a gimme. He's got to execute this and the right speed. He can't cinch it. He has to hit it with little authority.
He's got to roll it, Danny.
Hell, he's gonna.
He's got to roll
But he
it.
has to hit with a little authority. Can't be a real soft roll.
Not an easy
No,
shot.
he hit a little authority. Yeah, I don't call that like total roll stroke. You know, he could shoot that with medium speed.
Parica's showing how.
His big heart.
Parica's showing us that he does have a big heart at the table, running out yet another rack. Dalton trying to do the same on the feature table. Trails by 2 games in the match, 8-6. Winners bracket, big match. This will send him into the final 4. Winner goes to the final 4, guaranteed a spot on TV. Guaranteed at least 3rd, 4th. 8-7. This isn't over yet.
No, it's a match. How many times did we say it in the past? The man breaking at 1 game behind is not a big underdog.
Parica mounting a charge. Parica mounting a charge. 8-4 now.
Right.
8-4. Buddy Hall mounting a little charge of his own, leading Reed Pierce 6-4. And Dave Bowman, the Bowmaster, ahead of Earl Strickland, 7-6. Bud Strickland at the table. He broke him.
A little differently. He glanced him.
Definitely took a lot off of the break, and he tried that type of a break,
Right.
and it didn't work, but it worked in the regard that he didn't give up a shot.
Right, now where do you push that you can't trap yourself? This is the thing about the push. I still maintain they should get rid of the push after the break, because there's really, whoever pushes gets the worst of it. Don't you agree? Whoever pushes at this level gets the worst of it. So why do we have the push?
Well, he can only push to where he's looking now. That's the only point on the table where he can push to. Pushing to the side of the table he's standing on now puts him in big trouble of being snookered behind the 5. Watch out for the 6 now. It might snooker yourself here.
Oh, you got to let him shoot here.
Well, there's no question in Dalton's mind. There's no decision here.
Well, he's going to kick it.
Shannon says. No, he's going to hit it
He's going
thinly.
to try to fan it?
He's going to hit it thinly. This is where he gets paid off for his thin hits.
Yes, he did. What a great hit. He sold out, I believe, but it was a very good hit. But he did leave a shot on the 1 ball. Can he control the cue ball and get some kind of position on the 2, though? Doesn't sit automatic for sure.
What's wrong with just cutting it in and going toward the 8?
Well, there's a ball in front of the 2. You don't see it.
Oh, I
You
see.
the
I didn't
7?
see the 7.
Yeah, he had you snookered with it. But if he got real good on it, he has a combination.
Watch out for the side. Okay, he was able to
Wait
avoid
a
the
minute
side.
here. He has nothing but a safe, but he has a good safe.
He has a good save. He can brush the 2 slightly and put him behind the 7.
Right. Let Efren kick at this one. Funny games are coming up. A lot of kicking and safeties, and I don't know. I thought that would favor Efren, but you know, right now he's getting out knotted with that.
The day of the dog. Shannon DAULTON, a 2-game dog against Reyes. Dave Bowman, a 2 to 3 game dog against Strickland. Both in the match. How about Horsfall, a 2 to 3 game dog against Parica? Oh my goodness!
He didn't want to just fan it.
I didn't like what he did.
Bad judgment.
I didn't like what he did at all.
He was trying to miss the side and go further up and put him in a lot of jail here. He wasn't satisfied to just fan it and snooker him. He'll be sorry about that one, I believe. What's he looking at? The 2-7-9 combination or whatever that is?
Let's get a close-up, Rick, of the 4 and the 9.
Yeah, 2-4-9.
Okay, now that's a possible combination from this vantage point, the way we look at it on the monitor.
I'd shoot it. I think he is going to. I don't even think he'll duck on this. I think he'll just play to
He's thinking about shooting it right now.
I know he is. That's what I mean. I mean, to try to get from the 2 to the 3 and back to the 4-9, I think this 3-ball combination's easier than that. And I'll tell you what, I'll bet he makes this.
Well, if he shoots it,
he
figures to make it. Now he's looking at possibly playing the 2 shape for the 3, then playing the 4-9.
I don't really like that because you'll never get this good on this shot.
Let's take a look and see what he does with the cue ball in the event that he misses it.
Yeah, you might be thinking a little safety, but I knew he'd make that. You don't think safety on that shot. Well, he takes the lead now, 9-7.
Well, you might as well think safety if it's free.
Parica is winning another game.
Parica mounting really a legitimate charge.
8-5 now.
He's won
4 in a row.
The man with the heart of a lion. That actually was the match I would have preferred doing. But of course, this is a great match right here.
No, either one, as far as I'm concerned. We are actually doing a little bit of the other one. You know, we're at least giving the scores and telling the emotional part of it and the heart part of it, and winning 4 in a row after you lose 8 in a row. You know, we're sort of doing that, and the people aren't seeing it. I hope we're giving them a little picture of it.
Well, that's what we like to do. This is the U.S. Open. This is the most exciting part of the tournament, other than actually the finals, and that is all these players are trying to bid for positions. Position here at the U.S. Open. Parica, Horsfall.
Well, here
Dalton,
comes the safe here. He didn't. I don't know if he's going to shoot this combination 1-7, but he can roll forward and freeze him right on the 3. Don't you like that?
No, he's going
shot?
offensive here. I like offensive here. He can play.
Yeah, well, he didn't go offensive. He went to the safety.
I don't know if he's gotten away with it here.
Yeah, he did, but he left an easy 1-rail kick.
I still like offensive here. Look how nicely the balls are positioned. You know, he could have possibly played the rail before the 7, making the 1 off the 7 and come down for the 3 in the upper corner. I mean,
yeah, he could have, but the safety looked so
I don't
strong.
like safety playing
Well,
Reyes.
look, I'm not going to condemn it until after he loses the game because of it. If Efren, can Efren hit this ball, or does he have to kick at it? I believe he has to kick at it. So let's just see what the result is from that shot.
Well, I disagree with that, Danny, and I don't really disagree with you often, but I don't give Reyes an opportunity.
Well, he can hit it, so it was a bad
table.
shot. If he can just hit it without kicking, then he's shooting at the 9, I believe. Oh, he
7.
played the billiard on the 7.
No, he doesn't have a shot.
Oh, he don't.
He can't cut it in the side. That lays too thin.
Okay.
He can play the 1-4 combination, but boy, that takes a lot of confidence and courage.
Yeah, I don't like that shot. He has a little thinking process here.
He can cross it cross corner. He can cross it cross corner.
Well, is he the favorite to make that bank?
No, but you know, that's a shot. He can do that, and I don't know what he's going to do with the cue ball though if he opts to play that shot. See, he's looking to cross it.
Yeah, he is.
He's looking to cross it, repositioning the cue ball behind the 3.
No, I don't know about this one. I don't think he'll get.
No, well,
he can cut the ball in.
But did you see what he did with the cue ball?
Yeah.
He put it in the vicinity where he took those practice strokes from, and he cut the 1 totally backwards. And he was still able to control the cue ball.
Well, he has one more shot to make, and then it'll get easy. But he does have a shot to make.
Yeah, well, this is a difficult shot considering the position of the cue ball in relation to the cushion. Frozen. Center of the pocket. I mean, that's just purely...
No problem. No problem.
Incredible.
Well, John Horsfall has come back after losing 4 in a row and won that game, so now he's winning 9-5. Perfect control, Efren. What an amazing player.
Yeah, now that you look back at the last opportunity Daulton had at the table, you have to really think about why he did play that safety when he had a possible either a 1-7 combination or the one off of the 7, playing position for the 3. I thought that was a great shot.
Well, usually the young players do play offensively, but he decided not to, and it was costly because he did not make a good save. And now he's losing 10-7, and all of a sudden you got to beat Efren Reyes 4 in a row, or you lose.
Now let's ask the Accu-Stat booth or the desk if it's possible to go to the Parica Horsfall match after this match, since we have enough time. Maybe we can do that.
We'll see.
If in the event this match ends.
Look at the 9 ball. Oh! He didn't make a ball, and he didn't leave a shot.
Bowman ahead of Strickland, 9-6. I mean, what a great thing for Norfolk.
Look at this kick.
Dave Bowman lives here in Norfolk, you know.
Yes.
9-6 over Strickland. I mean,
he's been playing hard all day.
He sure has, all day long.
He's gonna need some sleep after this.
But of course, the Parica Horsfall match might end before this one because Horsfall at the table, looking to make it 10-5.
They could finish at the same time because if he makes this 8-9, he's going to be on the hill himself. He made the 8, got an easy shot on the 9 and put my Horsfall. Efren's got a cut shot.
He played the 9. He played the 9. It's over.
That was a great shot. Two-way shot. If he doesn't make the 9, the guy has a tough shot on the 1. And just he showed why he is Efren Reyes there.
Okay, Rick, let's see if we can catch the end of the Parica Horsfall match. Okay, swing the camera on over to the other side of the room. We're getting there. Now, there's Horsfall right there in the chair with the vest on. Parica racking the balls. Horsfall's leading in the match 10-5. This guy is a cool customer right here.
Yeah, now you're going to get to see a little bit.
This guy's a cool customer. He's beaten Strickland. He demolished quite a few players, including Pat Fleming. And who else? Who else was it?
Yeah, that was a great win over Pat Fleming.
What was that score, Pat? What was that score, Pat?
I'm sorry, Pat.
Okay, let's take a look.
Billy's a better describer, and you're a better accustatter.
What is his first name?
John.
John, thank you, Pat. John Horsfall. Here we go. Not a very overpowering break.
One in the side.
One in the side. And
a shot at the 2.
Where's the 2-ball position?
I think
the left
it's
of the
right
6.
over here, about a foot
the
and a half
position
from
to
the
left
corner
of the
pocket.
6. The 3-ball's position on the bottom cushion.
Yeah, could be.
4-ball is next to the left side pocket.
Oh, he can make this one rail and take the cut on the 3 in the same pocket.
Inside English, that's not
much.
Easy, not an easy shot.
You don't want to hit anything. Oh, he did. He missed the ball too. He might be seeing the goal line now, and he Didn't execute. That was the one shot to make to win that match.
Okay, now here's Parica. He trails in the match 10 games to 5.
And is forced to play a safe.
And he is forced to play a safe, inadvertently running into the 6 with the 2-ball, opening up the door once again for Horsfall, who's at the table, back at the table, with a chance to close out Parica.
Yeah, but could he get to the 3-ball? He has a lot of balls in the way. I mean, I don't know how he's going to get to it. He's got obstructions. If he gets to this
2
3,
cushions short, clearing the
that was a
4
great
and
shot.
6, dropping nicely for the 3, which was positioned on the short cushion.
Great control, which cements that he don't have any flaws that I can see. The open snooker bridge. He's using the one-piece snooker cue. I think this match is going to be in the record books also. I don't see any problems with this guy.
Notice how he chalks up, taking the chalk from his vest pocket.
Do you know why they do that?
Inning.
Do you know why they
Once again, chalking up. Go ahead.
Do you know why he has the chalk in his pocket? All the snooker players have that. Because when you place chalk on the table on a 6x12, you have to do far too much walking. Oh, he missed the ball.
Now, I don't believe that he's been playing perfect pool all week until the Accu-Stats camera finally went on him.
No.
And I asked,
No, he had the Accu-Stats camera on the whole match when he beat Strickland. But the whole thing is, this is the hill on the winner side and an easy layout, and he showed a flaw. I mean, you know, the little excitement, that 11th game is tough to get. You know that yourself. It's a little tougher to get than any other game.
well, what happened to I play the balls? What happened to that?
I don't know. I guess right now he's thinking of he's almost to the goal line, and and that's why he missed. Apparently, he got a little bit off of that kind of thought.
Okay, but we have an opportunity to now watch the man with the big heart, Jose Parica. Well, it can't be all that bad, can it?
It's just amazing where he missed. I'm using amazing so much because when great players don't get out their match-winning game from that point, all the other great things you said about the guy sound a little silly.
Yeah, it sounds like we're just making all of this up. And believe me, people, we are really not making this up. This man, Horsfall,
well, to get
has been
to
playing
10 on
magnificently
Parica,
all week.
you don't get to 10 on Parica playing bad. Whatever happens. Let's see what happens now. Parica decided to hit him softly. Well, I'll tell you who told me that's the way to go on these tables is Buddy Hall. He said take a little bit off him, and it worked. He made a ball and has a shot.
But take a look. The balls aren't really laying
no, they're not.
real well.
That's the thing, I guess.
The 2 balls are on the foot rail. That's the 2 and the 4?
Yeah, is there a combination there?
I don't know.
It looks like it might be. If that ball's dead, there's not a real lot of trouble here.
Well, evidently the ball on the left side of the 2 balls must be the 2.
2 ball, yeah, and is the combination dead? If not, he has to come with a safe.
Or is the 2 the other ball?
It is the other way. Does he have a billiard on the 9? I mean,
boy, he really put himself in an awkward position considering the position of the 2 in relation to the cue ball.
You're right. I'm surprised he went down this side. Well, he could hit it straight on, and he played a pretty good shot. That was a great shot. He hit it straight on, stuck the ball, and there's the 2 on the end rail, and no shot.
Okay, well, anyways, that didn't seem like it was very effective. Parica back at the table, trailing 10 games to 6. Really hanging by a thread here, Danny. Really can't make any more mistakes.
He's got a tough shot. Yeah, no more mistakes. Although I thought he was done last game. Let's just see. Pop that one in nicely.
he popped it dead center, I might add.
Okay, he doesn't have a...
I think the 4-ball's positioned on the end cushion. He'll then draw the ball. No, he's going to float it down.
Yeah, the ball goes
Getting
5
rather
to 9.
close to the 4, but nevertheless ended up in very good line for the 4.
Okay.
After this rack, we're going to change tape. What did he do? He missed the 4. He took his eye off of it. I can't believe that he missed that ball.
Well, after this rack, you may not have to change the tape. Let's just see.
That certainly was a surprise. Seeing him miss that ball.
Well,
Trust us, people. This wasn't happening at any time during this match until just now. Both of these players
what's he doing?
were playing
Cutting this
great.
in? Yes. Yes, here he goes again. Well, he's fortunate enough to get a second shot this quick to get his winning game.
Dave Bowman defeated Earl Strickland.
Another surprise.
Earl Strickland beat Dave Bowman. It was 10-7 Dave Bowman last time I looked over there. It was 10-7 Earl, I was just informed. Okay, I do apologize, particularly to all you Bowman fans. It was 10-7 Strickland.
So it went the way it was supposed to. But now this John Horsfall, if he makes this 6,
I've just been told we only have 1 minute left.
that's plenty of time because it's not going to take a minute to make this 6 and 8.
Oh my!
He
Oh
missed
my!
it. Well,
Okay, let's just give Parica this game.
Yeah.
Let's just give him this game. He's smiling. Look at him. He's saying to himself, and also all the bystanders there, he can't beat me. I can't beat me. I told you.
What he's saying is the flag is still waving, and there's a breeze.
Okay, let's go. The 8 and the 9 are there. You know he's not going to miss here. Come on. All right, come on.
I knew
Let's give him this game. Change the tape.
Horsfall
Let's
wasn't
go.
going to miss, and he did.
We're going to change it. Bye-bye. Bye.
Bye.